Hey folks, I'm Aspen Arrow, and today we're back in RimWorld with our tribal impids. Still on just the 1.4 build. As I discussed last episode, not going to switch over to 1.5 and anomaly yet, as I would like to finish up this run. And see, not much happening as we get started. Just another day in the desert, our storage room getting very full, and we're working on our walls some more. It's just a single layer granite wall, but it does the trick for now. We are building around some soft sand, so we do have that to deal with. Worked a little bit on our room here, so we're gonna go ahead and have our Harmony Jubilee. I haven't picked a leader yet, and quality was still 82%, so decided to go ahead and go for it. I maybe should have put some light in the room, but that's all right. I'm sure it won't be a problem and no one will have a breakdown at all. So if we do well here, we'll get a development point because we are on the fluid ideology. And that's something I haven't really done much in this run, so I'd like to be able to add some ideological memes. We also just are gonna get some goodwill from our nearby neighbors. You can see Forath bringing the baby into the ceremony. Time for a feeding. As everyone else just hangs out, says hi. I saw a few insults there. And Novo goes on another food binge. Although our Jubilee is fun, we get another development point, and our relationships with Unia get better. And you can see Novo had a mental break because it was dark, so should have used that solar pinhole again. What do you do? I had gone ahead and set up some carnivore fine meals to use up the dromedary meat as I did not monitor butchering, so go ahead and suspend that as we are out of meat, and I don't consistently want to make fine meals yet, although looking at the food and as I record this, I probably could have done vegetarian. Starting to try and floor up a lot of the base, make our barracks a little bit better. They are getting a mood debuff. I think it's somewhat impressive barracks at this point. As we work on construction, we get a quest for a busted shuttle, this being an Empire quest. It's time limited. The shuttle will crash. And we need to defend Sophia with the help of 2 troopers. And in exchange, we can get Genie Smith. I know I said no more non-impids, but it's a genie with level 14 crafting. Baldo Gourmand is awful. They're also a delicate wimp. And so, honestly, just not great trait-wise, but genie. And 14 crafting. And also good mining, which we lack. And then I saw Smith has a peg leg. So... of course, we will be taking Smith as we need to complete the peg leg trio here. I think Danny actually has a prosthetic, but we still are developing a theme for our non-impids. They all are missing a leg. So Randy just really wanting our baseliners and I guess our genie to not move very quickly. Bionics eventually, I suppose. And as I wait for morning to accept the busted shuttle, we are raided by the pigskins with Molotovs and a knife. So just out of habit, I do try and remember to just draft everyone and pull them inside the walls. It is helpful to have Camera Plus because, of course, I can see all my little green dots. But in the base game, well, I guess with 1.5 that changes a bit too, but in the base game prior, it was always really hard to see where your colonists were, and I've made the unfortunate mistake of accidentally leaving people outside the walls or just setting them to the zone and not realizing they didn't make it in. So, draft and grab everybody, but I think Sezen and Haz can take care of our 2-person raids. You can hear the raid music still not changing, although it does seem to have finally fixed itself. When I was recording this week, I was getting raid music again, but that's all right. Great Bow has really nice range, so we managed to get a few shots off as we then pull back. Really don't want to get into melee range with anyone. We have weak melee, we have bows, it just won't go well. Managed to get first pig down, second pig down, and we are gonna go ahead and strip for the gear, if nothing else than to sell it. Great memory is a good trait, but having just planned to accept the genie, trying to go back to sticking with impids. You get a flak vest out of this, as well as fire foam popper and some clothes to sell. Oh, no, not too bad. Also some components and Molotovs. So now in the morning, we'll go ahead and accept the busted shuttle quest for Smith. Shuttle crashes pretty far away at the bottom corner of the map here. So we're just gonna take the impids down, figuring Mila and Danny won't move fast enough to get down there before the raid arrives. I will regret moving Foraf to the front again because she's always carrying the baby, always. I do have Danny and Haz set for childcare as well, but it's just always Foraf. So we will send Danny to take care of feeding and playing with the kiddo. As Mila snoozes. She is our planting workhorse, so probably fair that she gets a little rest. We'll go ahead and feed up for a minute and run on down there. Get there before raids arrive, which is nice. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do that. So now it's just a waiting game until they arrive. Sometimes when they're closer, I'll toss up some barricades or defenses. But obviously wouldn't have had time to pull resources down here. And right as we hit the 4-hour mark, we get a raid of 3 Itakeen. Leave all melee. So we will work to defend Sophia here. A few troopers going down. Unfortunately, didn't get them down before the approach to Sophia, and so we end up in melee combat. Does also look like Nosma there killed their companion with the chain shotgun. Fortunately, didn't come out too bad, just some bruises. No particularly good gear to strip off of the downed Itakeen. And so we'll head back home. Doesn't stopping for a snack. And in the evening, the busted shuttle quest is done and Smith arrives. You can see she is a 56-year-old. And as we saw, she had a peg leg, but she's a genie with very good crafting, mining, intellectual. We'll go ahead and get her all set up. can also see she did come as a different ideology, so at some point we have another person to work on converting. This Smith's primary role will be crafter, and then probably miner, and can help out with a few other tasks like research, cooking. But especially later on in the game, probably lots and lots of crafting in store for Smith. And Smith's gonna be pretty unhappy they have a raiding ideology, so I think we're okay right now because we had went and grabbed that wood, but overall, she's not gonna be pleased here. And since we got Smith, we are gonna go ahead and grab Great Bow for research because now we have a crafter who can actually make them, and we are able to stockpile some wood with all of our cacti growing, so get some better weapons going. And Smith settles in for research. In the morning, we have some thrombos wandering by as our anima linking is ready yet again. You can see we just have boomalopes on the map, which probably could go hunt, but historically they explode and light the whole map on fire, so I've been hesitant to do so. Send Forath over for her last link. Notice that Smith is also tribal, so we'll add them to our meditation schedule. Smith's background being the vengeful child. So as everybody gathers and Novo continues to be sick, as we still do have gut worms on 3 people and the baby. Takes a while to get that all tended. Fortunately, we grew some herbal medicine at least, so we're getting there and making progress on it. Dozen and Mila, I also got into a fight, so they're a little bruised up. So Forath got Manhunter Pulse, which I've struggled to use because it has such a short range that you can cast it from, so you tend to be in the way of the animals, but we'll work on finding a way to use it. And as we continue on, we have, speaking of manhunters, a mad boomalope. And did want to go ahead and just say this was between 2 recordings, so I did install Music Manager so that I can unhinge the music when it gets stuck or switch to raid music. So 1 additional mod added on just to help with the music. You can see the boomalopes all the way down at the bottom of the map, so we're just gonna head inside. No real need to fight it. Once it goes to sleep, everything will be fine. Gonna go ahead and get our wall area set up. Do wish they let me pick the color. Maybe I need to see if there's a mod for that, because I would like to be able to pick different colors. And just go ahead and get that set up now that our walls are done, so we can pull everyone in the wall area. And later, as darkness comes across the desert, we have 2 visitors coming by who appear to be injured, so my guess was that they had fought that boomalope for us, and sure enough, the boomalope has been downed. So we'll let everybody out of the house. And send Cuz over to trade. Seems the least we can do for them, taking care of that boomalope. So we're gonna sell a few items, pick up the medicine and the components. You can see that we've made some crummy dusters, so go ahead and start offloading those as well. And just a silver off, so that's alright. We'll send Cuz out to grab it. And in the morning, Smith is trying to convert others to her ideology, so we're gonna actually send Forath to set a solar pinhole, and then send Cuz over to convert Mila, who is still not converted. You can see our conversion ritual still on cooldown, but slowly making progress on the temple, so it'll hopefully be a little better quality. Also got some concrete down in rooms or tiles, so we stopped tracking sand everywhere. We finished great bows. And I decided to go ahead and grab cocoa since we have a pretty long growing map and we need trade goods. Kind of figured since our ideology is opposed to drug use, maybe we wouldn't go that route. And we also start planting our devil strand for the year, hoping that we're able to get that all grown and just have a good stockpile of it so we don't have to do it again for a while. And Smith actually coming around to our ways has a inspired creativity. Smith also did come with a painful gunshot, so we'll be pretty persistent with that mood debuff. I don't think it was one we could fix, so not without bioregeneration. So we, another thing to look at figuring out how to tend to in the long run. I debated not building the field smithy, but decided to go ahead and do it. I honestly don't use smithies all that much. I feel like I've generally just bought my melee weapons or found them, but we will go ahead and put one down and have Smith make a great bow with her inspired creativity. You can see Forath carrying the darn baby again. So we will send out Sezen and Haz to take care of yet another bird. And Smith over to join, who is a decent shooter, but obviously moves much slower due to the high lag. Probably don't need 3 people to hunt the emu, but they have a 100% retaliation rate. And we one-shot it, so more meat and bird leather. Not very good leather, but we'll take what we can get. And after getting the smithy done, Smith makes a Smith and Smithy. Smith makes an excellent great bow, so we'll go ahead and play musical bows again and get everyone all switched around. And slowly making progress on some better weaponry. Obviously still tribal, but that's alright. It's been fun to play the tribal phase and, as I said, not rush to guns quite as quickly. As we have some snow, we receive a request for watching white. But as you can see, there's no indication as to what the raids will be, although it is a 2-star quest, so I'm not sure if this is a glitch. Rewards are crafting, gold, Luciferium, or goodwill, so keep that on the back burner. And you can see Forath's tortured artist trait really bringing her down, as well as some insulting and an unhappy baby due to the gut worms. Unfortunately, she does not really have a good artistic or crafting scat, so may not get much out of that tortured artist trait. So, I'd like to thank you for joining me today in RimWorld. I hope you're continuing to enjoy the series. And as always, have a pleasant day. And we'll see you next time as we start getting planning for some additional building.